have Grace, and she's going to major in economics at Wellesley. If you don't know, this is the college that Hillary Clinton went. It's a very, very nice school.
As for my passion, I started out ninth grade not really knowing what I was doing, but I knew that I loved the humanities and helping others from a young age as I started doing volunteer work starting in middle school. And I was first exposed to what economics was when one day my mom was reading this Rich Dad, Poor Dad book, and I was like, Mom, what's that? And she sort of introduced me to what economics was. She had an econ degree as well. And from there, I just sort of took off, starting with my extracurriculars. I learned some investment courses, competed in the Wharton Global High School Investment Competition. And from that experience onwards, I was just very into econ and business and participated in a variety of competitions afterwards. So I would really agree with David that really exploring what you like when you're young is very efficient and helpful for discovering your passion. So don't be afraid to try new things. Start off, sports, arts, and volunteering has been a big part of my life since I was pretty young. I started swimming and then played volleyball, and I did art and piano. And I began seriously looking at these academic extracurriculars after my freshman year in high school. So from that point on, it was very experimental. And I was super lucky to find economics and business so early through these competitions. So like David, I had a very rigorous course load with 14 APs taken. I basically took the route best I could. And I also made sure to take the 2 micro and macro economics APs as well. And my most time-consuming activity was volleyball because I played both in high school and in clubs. So it was essentially a year-round sport for me, with high school volleyball taking up most of my time, with practice every day, weightlifting 3 times a week, and games maybe 3 to 4 every 1 to 2 weeks. So I spent a lot of time playing my sport, and I had all this extra leftover time. I had to compile that into studying for school, volunteering, and also teamwork for these competitions that I was participating in. So I started with the Wharton Global High School Investment Competition, and I was lucky to place first in that in my 10th grade year. And then after that, I competed in the Diamond Challenge, which is a business competition. I did that for 2 years straight. And then I participated in the National Economics Challenge as well for 2 years in the 2 different divisions. And really, time management is very key here. Just trying to squeeze out the little periods of time where you won't be able to complete a big task, but you can get started. Just knowing little time management tips is very helpful. And for planning your entire workload, you just want to make sure that you can demonstrate your ability to colleges, whether that's through competitions or research or other independent projects. My approach was a little bit different. I actually took a list took a look at planning my activities list first, because at this point in high school, you've pretty much forgotten everything you did your freshman and sophomore year. And so trying to build out a list of everything that I've done and some experiences I had was really helpful and reflective for me, and really helped me brainstorm some good ideas, because it helped me identify what my strengths were and how I grew over the past 4 years. And I think the best thing you can do now as someone who's preparing to apply for college is to start reflecting on your life experiences earlier. Realizing those lessons takes a lot of time, but it takes more time to put that into words when you're trying to write. And as for the topics that you want to write about, I say just write what you enjoy spending time thinking about and what's actually important to yourself, because that's going to be unique person to person. And writing about your passions is very hard to fake. So just write what you're passionate about. And as for me personally, my Common App, I believe I chose the prompt list prompt because my structure was basically me explaining a few key events that led me to develop my passion in economics. And I used some lyrics to wrap it all together, each one of my stories. And so that didn't quite fit any of the prompts, but I felt like that was very like applicable to myself. So that's the kind of format that I went with. And just like David, I had like a set of super essays, but what I had was a small, a medium, and a large supplemental essay. And so for each of these, I would have a different story for that. And I was able to scale it up, scale it down based on the word limits, because that's not the same across every college. And for some of those topics, you can be kind of silly. For example, I wrote about fishing when I wrote some essays to, for example, like Princeton. And I wrote about a lot of personal stuff, like with like Chinese culture and my grandparents as well. So there's really a lot of topics you can explore, and starting early to reflect on what your life experiences have been in the past 4 years is really helpful. Seriously, start early, maybe make a journal or something. It's really helpful.